It's so great to be here with everyone. This is a time um, in America where the voices of the people really need to be heard. I can't tell you how powerful it is to represent the 14th district. So I want you to think about my district and puts me in a unique situation. So I start with the Grosse Points. I have Harper Woods. Then I cross over until Detroit. I have all of downtown Detroit. I have an international border. So Border Patrol and all those things that happen. And then I have Mexican Town, Southwest Detroit. And then I have Indian Village, and then I navigate through the east side of Detroit, even where I was born, which was on 6 Mile and DeQuinder, went to Corville, Nolan, and Pershing. And, yay. And then I pick up Hamtramck. Hamtramck, which is the only city in the United States of America to have majority of the elected officials Muslim. Then we cross 8 Mile, Royal Oak Township, Oak Park, Southfield, Farmington Hills, West Bloomfield, Kego Harbor, Orchard Lake, Sylvan Lake, and Pontiac. Now I just want you, that was a roll call. I want you all to think about the diversity in those cities. I have the largest Jewish population in the state of Michigan in my district. And in addition to that district is majority African American. I have the largest concentration of Mexican Hispanics in the state of Michigan. Just think about in the Arab and Muslim population in my district, you can worship any way you want in my district. I have a place of worship in this district. Temples, synagogues, churches, mosques, you name them. So ladies and gentlemen, one of the things I wanted to run by here and let you know that being in Congress, some members can come and talk about cows and corn and they've got it covered. That's not an option I have. The diversity of this district. So you all know I'm an African American. Some of you don't know. My mom died when she was raised by my grandmother. So my grandmother came up from the South and moved to the North. And as a little girl, and I literally sat at her knee so much because I loved the woman beyond life. We were watching TV during the Civil Rights Movement. I was a little girl. And they were putting hoses and dogs on protesters in the South. And tears was running down her face, and I'm trying to absorb, because I always wanted to absorb everything I could from my grandmother. And she told me, she said, Brenda, the majority of your life as a black girl and black woman in America, you're going to spend that educating people and forgiving people. She said, you're going to have to educate, because most of prejudice and racism is from ignorance. And she said, then there are some. She said that you have to forgive them because you can't allow their hate to consume you. Because if you do, it will stop you, Brenda, from using all those tools and talents that God gave you to make a difference in this world. And I found those words to be true. And so one of the things that's bothered me the most and what I'm hearing is that deliberate attempt to divide us. That deliberate attempt to take our love and passion for Israel, make it a political pawn to separate us, where in the past, Israel has been the thing that has brought us together. To use the fact that if you're poor or you're a minority, you are those people and you get names and you get disrespected, versus if you're white or if you're wealthy, you get treated differently. So it puts us on opposite sides of the fence. That's what dictators do. That's what people who want to destroy a democracy, that's exactly the plan. So I sat down with some of my members. We had some very heated discussions about when Netanyahu came to speak to Congress. When we talk about some of the things that are happening with African Jews in Israel, when we talk about Black Lives Matter, when we talk about these shootings and acts of hate against our Jewish community, against our Black community, and when they were walking, those people who live by hate, what they shout out, Jews and Blacks, Jews and Blacks, Jews and Blacks. And so I sat down with my colleagues. I said, it's a time for us as lawmakers, as Jews and Blacks in America to come together. Because in our history, whenever racism showed up, we immediately came together. We immediately came, the lives that were lost by the Jewish community during the civil rights movement, the blood that was shed, those who disrupted their family to stand up for justice. When the shootings happened in the synagogue, the Black community ran, and we were there with them saying, we are with you. So I just wanted to make sure that we launched it officially. Our reception to kick it off in Washington will be, forgive me, it's September 23rd, but I will make sure I get the information to you. We have brought all the national organizations on Black relationships and Black civil rights movements and those who fight against racism and anti-Semitic actions in America. And we brought the Jewish community. We are so excited about this. Our first event will be bringing us together on our food and music. And I want to tell you something that brought a colleague of mine to tears. It was a cantor who sang, "We Shall Overcome" in Hebrew. And it was not a dry eye in the room. So we talked about what brings us together, our music, our food, and we will kick it off with that, but we're going to have some very substantive conversations and really building our voice in Congress. I want you to know I'm so proud to be in Congress. I tell people, they ask me, say, how do you like it? I say, I'm living my dream. I just didn't know the dream would be like this. And I'm going to close with this. Every generation gets their call to action. People are saying this is the worst time in America and things are so bad. No, things have been a lot worse than this. But this is our time. This is our call to action. History is writing about us. Our children will read about what we did when we saw hatred and racism and anti-Semitic and all of this evil showing its head. What did we do? Because our democracy wins every time we stand up and fight against it. Thank you so much.